Some on the outside were saying after Madrid, this is a real test now for City, a test of their mental strength. What has it been like for the players since then, getting ready for today's game?
It was like a big battle here and in the brain, because you don't want to wake up of the bed. You just keep thinking about the game, what happened, and it's tough. It's tough because you fight 8 months to arrive, and then in the last minutes it goes. But you have to switch on. It's our job, and it's one of the most difficult parts in football, to switch on and keep fighting, and I think we did it top today.
We're frustrated by the goals we conceded. The detail was missing in our game, the 2 set plays, 2 corners, they can score all sorts of goals, and we should have done better in those moments. We've just played 2 world-class teams and got beaten by both, but we've tried to impose ourselves and give everything to get a result, and that will continue. We want to see us evolving our style slightly and trying to be the team that we are going to be in the future.
Pep, we always see joy in you when your team scores. Would it be right to say there was even a little bit extra at goals number 4 and 5 today? You seem to absolutely love those.
Of course, the margin for Liverpool is so tight, and the goal difference can happen. So important was to win, of course, because it depends on that. But of course, goal difference in that stage when it happens is so important.
They could be huge, couldn't they, Ian, really? You look at the goal difference there. Yeah. Manchester City now have a goal difference that's 4 better than Liverpool's. And those final 2 goals come in the 90th and the 3rd minute of second half stoppage time.
Yeah, what can you say about City? They haven't done too much wrong all season in the way they've played. They've always played like they've played. They're very, very good with the ball. Just dominating teams, and in the end, like Newcastle were done. Jack Grealish done very well towards the end there, but yeah, we're talking about a team that haven't done too much wrong this season, and they've fought off an unbelievable Liverpool side up to this point. So.
But the nature of this title race is it is going to be those fine margins.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the Liverpool players would have been watching that today, as the City players would have been watching Liverpool last evening. They had the chance to respond, and they've done that in style. And the impressive thing also is that after such a huge disappointment, because these guys and the manager and that squad have been working towards that, because that is a huge trophy that is missing from that trophy cabinet at Manchester City. That's also the one that Pep wants to have. So they've been working to that as well as the Premier League. So when you lose that and you have that disappointment, what you need and what you want is you want desperately a game to follow it quickly, because you need to get it out of your system. You've got to get back out on the pitch again, and you've got to get out and win, and you've got to do it in style, and that's exactly what they did today.
Well, Rodri spoke about that there, didn't he? He said, you work for 18 months and then it all goes like that. So, yes. From your experience of dealing with disappointments, crushing disappointments, does that impress you how they've bounced back?
Yes, obviously, because it was a crushing disappointment. I'm trying to think. I haven't had too many. I can't remember any crushing disappointments.
I remember you moaning at me when you couldn't get in the England team. Disappointment? He never had too many disappointments. What's he on about?
You can't be deep out. You know the thing with that is that when you watched them on Wednesday, you couldn't help but feel sorry for that City side, because we know what it means to the whole of Manchester City to try and win that trophy. So for them to lose in the manner they've lost, and they've done it before, it is very disappointing for them. But for them to come back at in a game against Newcastle, and get themselves going to the point where they've crushed them, is testament to them, testament to their mentality.
One concern going forward will be Ruben Dias went off injured at half-time today with a muscular problem. John Stones has a problem. Kyle Walker has an ankle problem. Pep Guardiola has confirmed that the 3 of them will take no further part in the season, so they'll miss the last 3 games. So there's going to be some shuffling there.
Well, there'll have to be, but I think they've got a £40 million centre-half on the bench as well, haven't they, in Ake? They'll be all right.
All right. Well, that much sympathy then for that. Let's move on to another question. Look, João Cancelo's been one of the players of the season, not just for Manchester City, but in the Premier League, one of the players of the season. He was instrumental today. Yeah. But did Newcastle play into his hands a little
Newcastle definitely played into his hands. Quite a bit, actually, because when you've got players with great ability, you can't afford to make any errors. You can't afford to let them go. And when Saint-Maximin's playing on that left-hand side, as he did today, and not given a free roll, you cannot allow that. He has a look at him. He knows he's there. They had a warning. and he does nothing about it. He doesn't bother to get back in. You have to do that. You've got to get in. That should have been in the back of the net. That was the warning. A few minutes later, exactly the same thing again. And he goes to sleep, and he lets him get inside of him, and he can't. I don't know what he's pointing at, but it's his man. It's a wonderful ball, fantastic header, and then Sterling gets on the end of it. But if you go to sleep when you're playing against good players, you get punished, and that's exactly what happened there. Same thing again, he gets in behind. I mean, he's having a wonderful season, whether he's playing at right back, whether he's playing at left back. He's a fantastic talent, and he caused Newcastle problems most of that first half anyway. He was the furthest man forward at one stage there. Again, getting in behind, a little bit of skill, phenomenal ball across, and that again should end up in the back of the net. Look, he starts the move here. He goes to get the ball, he pings it out wide to that right-hand side. Look at the way he's driving forward and following that pass, making himself available and having a pop at goal. He's had a wonderful season. He really has. He's been magnificent.
Would you have gone for a slightly less attacking option for Newcastle to try and?
Well, I think Pep would have looked. I mean, we know that Cancelo likes to do that. He wants to get involved and he wants to get on the ball wherever that may be. But I think with Pep, he would have looked at that and identified that as a problem, because he would have known that Stan Maximum would have been a bit reluctant to do that tracking back, and that's exactly how it turned out.
We talked about the positivity of the City players and how psychologically they turned it round. It doesn't matter who you support. Fans can get nervous in these kind of situations. And Newcastle had a couple of chances where that might have spread the nerves around the Etihad.
Yes, because you look at this chance, and if I'm Chris Wood, this is what I'm probably waiting for last night. I'm saying, if I could just get a decent cross, something like that. He's got to do better than that. For a big man, he's got to give himself some time to drop off a bit, so as this ball comes in, it's beautifully flighted in. You know, I think Cancelo actually falls down, so you can go and attack it.
And that was
at
0-0.
That's at 0-0. You score that, all of a sudden, we saw what Cancelo's, what he done over the bar. You make them nervy. This one, he's just got to thunder that into the goal. He's just got to smash that into the goal there. And so those chances, they come few and far between in games like this. That's how you're going to try and beat City. They had the two chances there, and they squandered them.
It might have been unlikely. It might not have happened. But at least if that first goal goes in, then all of a sudden you're thinking, OK, how are they going to react mentally?
Right.